Hey everyone, it is MD New. I am jumping back on to start my reading. So basically, tonight I'm going to be reading from The Calling. It was my debut novel and also came in third place for the Rainbow Awards, best debut novel. So I do have the sequel coming out next year, which I'm really excited about. And basically, I'll post details to my website and where you can buy the link and everything like that, uh, uh, where you can buy the book and all that in the link below. Yes, it is about vampires. Thank you for that. Okay, so we're going to be doing reading. It's actually from the very first chapter, and I'm sorry. What is death? I once believed there was only one definition. Your body stops functioning, your soul leaves, and what's left turns into dust. That was what I thought until it wasn't. I've discovered when you're nobody, the world can be an amazing place if you want it to be. Your life can change in a heartbeat and not make the least bit of difference to anyone but you, or so it would seem. That was my case. I'm by no means whining or complaining. I had a job, I had a place to live, I had friends, but no real family, and that was something I desperately missed and wanted. My life wasn't bad, and I was happy. However, I was just a random person, one of the many faces you see on the street and never glance at twice. My life was dull. Of course, as with me, the majority of society didn't know our world had hidden secrets, unseen by most. The only, the other important thing I want you to realize about me is that before I met her and the others, especially him, I wasn't a lucky man. Not with money and certainly not with love. I made enough money to live on, but never enough to take fancy trips. My idea of travel was staying home and watching movies. That was my price range. And as for love, it was completely forgettable. The day my life changed was like all the others, until it wasn't. It was August 19th. The year isn't important, at least not anymore. But I will tell you, we had finished celebrating the Olympics, and in a few short months the country would be picking between the lesser of the two evils for president. I sat in an outdoor cafe in Santana Row, and I'd spent the afternoon going on the tour of the Winchester Mystery House, which, if you haven't been, you need to. And once my stomach had started to growl, I decided to grab a bite to eat. Now, I'd come to San Jose on vacation that I couldn't afford and particularly didn't want to take. But here I was. Why San Jose? Why not San Francisco or Monterey or Vegas or Yosemite? Well, to be honest, I don't know. But it's like everything inside of me pulled me here. Out of the blue, I got emails from the San Jose Visitors Bureau. My dreams were filled with images of the city and the surrounding hills and mountains. It seemed that old song, Do You Know the Way to San Jose by Dionne Warwick, constantly played. Still, San Jose isn't a place most people consider for a 10-day vacation, especially someone alone who had never been to the Bay Area before. Despite my apprehensions, from the moment I arrived, I immediately felt at peace. I'd never been this calm or relaxed anywhere before, not even at home. There was another reason for me coming to San Jose, one I didn't understand, or at least not on a conscious level. But I'd find out soon enough. I don't want to get things out of order, so back on point. I sat at this Italian-style outdoor cafe watching people walk by, enjoying the scent of roses and vanillas that filled the air. The aroma tickled the back of my brain. I smelled it everywhere, which should have been my first clue that something was different. As I enjoyed my chicken masala, and while I sipped my strawberry lemonade, I felt a sharp pull in my brain. It wasn't like I heard voices, it was more like vague images filled in my head. A house, a woman, a man, gardens, a gate, hills covered in trees, and a pair of eyes. My hands shook, and my glass fell to the floor and shattered. An intense pressure grew between my ears, and I pinched the bridge of my nose to ease it. When the tug came, three things happened to me at once. First, I had the realization that I had an important meeting in Los Altos Hills. I'd never heard of Los Altos Hills, and even had to look it up on my phone to see if it was an actual place. I'd have to check my GPS when I returned to my rental. I knew the address of the house and who I was going to go meet. She had blonde hair and mysterious eyes. I knew her, but I didn't understand how. Second, the waiter came to my table. "Sorry about the drink," I said. He gave me an odd look and informed me that my meal had been paid for and to enjoy my evening. Flabbergasted, I stared at the server. I glanced around the cafe and wondered who paid the bill and why. I wasn't even done eating yet. "Mr. Alexander, are you all right?" The waiter scanned me up and down. "Do you need me to call someone? You look pale." No, I'm fine." I shook my head. I'm fine." How did the waiter know my name? Stranger still, when I checked the table, my drink was there, and nothing had fallen to the floor. I wasn't sure what was happening to me. "Are you sure?" the waiter asked. "Yes, sorry, it is just a headache," I said. "All right. Well, I hope you have a pleasant afternoon." He smiled and started to walk off, but turned back. "Oh, I almost forgot. I'm supposed to remind you about your meeting tonight?" A lump stuck in my throat, and I nodded. It was spooky, but I wasn't scared. The last thing that happened, I got a text from my closest friend, Cindy Martin. "Good luck tonight. I'm sure it'll be you." I remember thinking, what does she know that I don't? Now, I've known Cindy for years, and for her to say anything that short and sweet was rare. In fact, I don't suppose I ever got a message from her without tons of emojis. As bizarre as this was, I realized that no matter what, everything and everyone I cared about would be okay. Clearly, there was something more to this trip and my being here. I didn't know what, but it wasn't just some free meal. It was bigger than that. If I was selected for what, I had no clue. And if I wasn't, then I would get to see them again. There would be no question. Now, part of me wanted to worry, but I wasn't bothered, which in and of itself surprised me. I've been a pessimist for as long as I can remember. It probably had to do with the strange death of my father when I was a kid, a death never fully explained. So, for this not to make me worry was one more mystery. What was about to happen was something that would just be. Instead of freaking out and worrying, I was calm and accepting of whatever adventure or fate awaited me. Even though I was short on time to get to the house in Los Altos Hills, I wanted to enjoy my lunch. Reflecting on it now, I'm pretty sure that was my cynical part of my brain trying to exert some kind of control. I took my time, finished my meal, and when I was done, I tipped the server and left. I walked back to my rental car. I wanted to take in as much of the classic European architecture and lush landscaping of the outdoor mall as I could. I managed to get a few decent pics of the place, which was nice. Anyway, I stopped my lollygagging and got moving. I had someplace to be and what appeared to be no choice in the matter. Now look, before you go crazy, understand this wasn't one of those stupid movies that you watch, shaking your head, yelling at the screen, and then for them to not go into the dark forest or the spooky house or whatever. It wasn't like that. I'd like to hope I'm explaining this well enough so you don't sit there and think, "Oh, this is stupid. I'd never do anything that dumb." It wasn't like I had a choice, you understand. I had to go. Something compelled me to her, to them. I had to meet this woman calling me. It was hardwired into me. No matter how much I tried to slow down or stall, I moved forward. I moved towards her. So that is a little bit of the calling. And we get a little bit learning of Duncan and find out a little bit about him and his mindset. I hope you like it. I hope you thought it was fun. I'm really proud of it, and I'm really excited for the sequel and conclusion to the story to come out next year. And check out my other books. I do sci-fi, I do urban fantasy. I've got my science fiction novels, which are out, book 1 and book 2 of A New World, which is Contact and Conviction. I also have my urban fantasy TAD,